I, female 35, have been with my husband, 37, for 3 years. We got married months ago. I have a teen son from my former marriage. My son took his time to get used to being around my husband, understandable, but my husband would rush things and then claim my son is shutting him out, or not giving him a chance. Teenage years can be hard to navigate, and I already explained to my husband why my son might not find it easy to open up about everything. Nonetheless, they have a stable relationship. My son broke his old phone a month ago and had been wanting a new one. My husband decided to surprise him with a new one at his birthday party. My son was overjoyed, and so was I. However, that excitement got ruined once I found out that my husband had used his face as the only way to unlock the phone. He had set up a face recognition feature to unlock the phone, and so without him, my son cannot use the phone. I asked my husband why, and he said he did this as a first concrete step towards having a parent-child relationship and moving on from the friend-child relationship. I said he had no right to invade my son's privacy and have access to his personal stuff. I returned the phone to him, and he pitched a fit about how ungrateful I'm being because he just wants to strengthen his bond with my son, and then accused me of treating him as less of a parent than he is, although we're both in this together. I told him he could keep the phone unless and until the his face lock, is removed because this is ridiculous. He got more upset and claimed that he was doing his best, yet my son and I kept treating him poorly and got mad and oversensitive for no reason. He said I should go hear how other fathers treat their kids and realize my son is lucky to have him as his dad. I couldn't stand the yelling, so I went inside the kitchen. He kept saying I should encourage him and be on his side for wanting to ensure my son's okay. But in my opinion, this isn't the way. Am I the idiot for giving the phone back? Not the idiot. If he thinks that giving a nearly adult boy a phone that his stepdad's face can only unlock is a concrete step towards a parent-child relationship, then he must be smoking something funky. Not only is this out of line, but his response to you is too. So there's a reason your son doesn't like him. Maybe now you'll start to understand why. Dude, I smoke funky things, and even I'm not this stupid. You can't force a person to like you, especially a teenager. Not the idiot. Give the phone back and maybe the new hubby too. Your husband is a weirdo. I know a lot of people disagree with this, but step-parents aren't parents until the child accepts them in that role. Weirdo for real. Want to bond with the kid? Ask him questions about his hobbies. Show interest in him as a person, not set your stupid face to his phone. He sounds so controlling. I wonder what other red flaggy things he did that OP didn't see because she loves him. OP, you can and should factory reset the phone, but can you factory reset your husband? Please let us know. Not the idiot, but you're walking a fine line if you let your husband continue to try to control your son. This is not healthy. OMG, I bet the wife's phone has spyware on it too. I'm just baffled that she married him in the first place without setting boundaries for the son. I know he has this twisted conception about being a father, but he sounds nuts. Not to mention this kid is already a late teen. The ship sailed a while ago. Everyone's the idiot here. Him for doing what he did, and you for marrying him knowing he's been trying to force a relationship with your son, and then blaming your kid when it doesn't work. The only person not in the wrong here is your son, and holy crap, he's taking this all in stride. Reward him with a new phone and no garbage stepfather. It sounds harsh. I, 24 male, know, but we just don't want that kind of drama at our wedding. My brother, 27 male, told me over 3 months ago that he's gay, and he's had a boyfriend for 2 months, which is fine. I've met his boyfriend, and he's nice. No one in my family knows except my fiancé and me. Our wedding is coming up soon in a few weeks. For a while, he's been telling me he wants to come out at our wedding and introduce everyone to his boyfriend. But he knows half our relatives that will be there are old and have negative thoughts about the LGBT. My parents are more neutral. They've never had anything good or bad to say. But when it's your kid coming out, things could go really good or really bad, and we don't want all that going down on our wedding day. My brother keeps saying it's not fair since it's a day celebrating love, he's allowed to celebrate his too. And I said, no, it's a day celebrating our love because it's our wedding. Also, I thought it was weird he kept talking about bringing his boyfriend because literally no one is getting a +1. It's for family and friends only, anyone who got an invitation. So another thing he got mad at me over. I don't see why it's such a big deal for him to wait until after the wedding or do it before if it's so important to him. I told him he could just call up everyone to have a sit down and tell them. My brother keeps saying I don't get it, and if he doesn't have my support in doing this, I'm the idiot. So we got into a fight. Then, for the past 2 weeks, he's had a new attitude about not needing my permission to tell the family something important. So that's when I told him he wouldn't be invited to our wedding at all if he thinks about doing this behind our back when we said no. Now he's even angrier. He's accusing me of not truly accepting him just because I won't let him do this at my wedding, and excluding him from it entirely just because he's gay is cold and heartless of me. It's already become a bigger drama, and the wedding hasn't happened yet, but I get he's my brother. I don't know why it has to be at my wedding. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. No thunder stealing on someone else's big day, be that proposing, announcing a pregnancy, or coming out. It's the rule. My revenge would span generations. My ghost would show up at his great-grandkid's wedding and ruin it. Do not play with me. Your brother is being incredibly selfish. What is it about weddings that makes everyone want to jump in the selfish pool and make it about them? Let him know the cut-off date for him to decide to be drama-free. If he hasn't promised that he won't make your wedding day about him by X day, he's uninvited. There'll be security to keep him out, and what shall I tell everyone is the reason for our falling out? He can make his announcement on any other 364 days of the year. I was going to say the same thing. I think the brother is either looking for a free coming out party or thinks the wedding would make his crap relatives more accepting, which we all know it won't. It will just ruin OP's day, and I'm sure the brother will blame OP if things go south, which they will. The real idiot is the society that assumes your brother is straight, necessitates the closet as a safety feature, and has coming out of the closet as an event. I'm sorry you and your brother are in pain over this because society is an idiot. I hope he can meet you in the middle and stop taking it out on you, and I hope the new conversation means your support comes across to him in a way he can hear it and accept it. So I, 22 female, was born when my parents were fresh out of high school. Unfortunately, it didn't work out and they broke up pretty quickly after I was born. Around the time I was born, my dad lost his grandmother, who he was super close to, and had lost his dad about a year or two prior to that. So I was named a pretty old-fashioned, but unique name, Helena, after my great-grandmother, Jessie, my grandpa Jessie, and my mom's last name. Since my mom got sole custody, I only saw my dad every other summer and some of the holidays. He got married to this nice woman, Sarah. Now that I'm an adult, I visit him more often, although it's hard to get there as much as I want because I live a state away. So anyway, he had 4 sons with Sarah, and they've been waiting on a daughter for years. Finally, everyone gave up, and it became an ongoing joke. So I found out I was pregnant when Sarah found out she was too. I wanted my extended family to be included, so I decided to have a big baby shower, barbecue, so they could drive up to where I live and stay a few days. I've been trying hard to bond with my dad after all these years, and I really wanted him close during this time. So I asked my mom if my stepmom and I could share the shower. She agreed since she was helping me set it up. So I asked about a gender or name for the baby so we could do a theme since I already know I'm having a boy. I hinted around that a name would be better so I could have a gift embroidered. My stepmother sends me a text with the name she's picked for her new daughter, Helena Jessie. As it turns out, my stepmother loves the name and said she went along with it at my dad's suggestion. I call my dad and he explains that he wants to keep those names in the family and that our names are going to be different because I have my mom's last name and this girl will have his. I tried to argue that I had already used it and he couldn't steal my name. He wanted to use them again. I literally lost it on him and told him that they couldn't come to the shower until they changed the name. My stepmother was really upset because she'd been excited about the shower and didn't have the money to plan her own. And my dad's mad about it too since he already took off work to come. So my family's pretty split about it, but my mum's on my side. My uncle's been calling me an idiot about getting mad at a name, since his daughter's middle name is Helena, and I wasn't bothered by that. But I feel like everyone's missing the point. Am I the idiot? Wait, hold on, I must be misreading this. So your father has 6 children, 4 boys, you, a daughter named Helena Jessie, and a new daughter on the way, a daughter named Helena Jessie. So he'll have 2 daughters, both named Helena Jessie. Girl, that's all kinds of messed up. The person I feel bad for is your stepmother, not the idiot for any of it. Not only that, but he literally said he wants the names to stay in the family as though OP isn't actually his daughter. Why do you feel bad for the stepmom? She's happy with the decision on the name, even after knowing how her stepdaughter feels. She's just upset she got disinvited from the party. Yeah, this sounds suspicious, like your father wants a do-over. The same first and middle names for two children? But no, your stepmom is an idiot too, so don't feel bad for uninviting her. Maybe she doesn't know your middle name, but agreeing to give your child the first name of another child the father already has is a total idiot move. What's wrong with these guys? I mean, what? None of them thinks this is totally weird and wrong. They're not even upset that OP is upset. They feel wronged because they can't afford their own party and don't get to have OPs, which is supposed to be a baby shower for OP, not for them. This whole thing started because my brother-in-law found out me and my sister, his wife, were discussing potentially buying a house together, and he decided to tell my husband but made it seem like we were actively looking for a house. We weren't, and both planning to divorce them. I'm not, and have the house as a safety net. The safety net part is true. We've been discussing buying a house together so that if either of us ever divorced and ended up getting financially screwed over, we would have that house still until we could get back on our feet. It's just an idea that we talked about a few times, but neither of us had committed to actually buying it. I never mentioned it to my husband, since it was just a private discussion that nothing has come out of. My husband was furious after my brother-in-law told him. He feels like he deserved to know and was insulted by the reasoning behind us wanting to buy the house together, as he feels like our prenup already shows he isn't the type of man to screw me over in a divorce. He said my secrecy made him look bad, and I don't think he believed me when I said divorce has never crossed my mind. He told me to buy the house with her, but I think he just said that out of anger. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. People don't usually get married preparing for divorce beyond a prenup, so your husband learning about this house as a backup plan was, unsurprisingly, upset about it. It's insulting to hear your spouses discussing laying out plans for a divorce without cause, which can become a cause for divorce. You are the idiot. You straight up lied to him. You state, so that if either of us ever divorces, of course he would be upset. You're actually subconsciously planning on divorcing him. You'd best buy the house because I do not see this relationship lasting. I'm pretty sure she meant that wanting to divorce him has never crossed her mind. She doesn't want to get divorced. She is casually interested in wanting to have a safety net for herself and her sister in case life gets crazy, which it very clearly does for so many people. OP's not the idiot. I just don't see this as a betrayal. I do see how it might be a shock to OP's husband, though. She could have avoided the drama by telling him what she and her sister were thinking. Have you or anyone you love been the victims of financial abuse? This absolutely sounds like the actions of someone who has experienced financial abuse and is terrified it may happen again. Also, it seems like maybe this was done more with your sister in mind. So maybe she's going through something? I think all these people who are saying OP's wrong maybe haven't had to try to help a loved one escape it. Sometimes you have to make it seem like it's for you too, so they will work past that defense mechanism. I'd have to go with no idiots here because I understand how this could happen from your side, but I also see how this knowledge could hurt your husband. Getting a divorce is easy, but dealing with it afterward is harder. My son's mother and I have been divorced since January. There's a lot of bad blood on her end because she didn't get what she wanted. Of course, what she wanted was insane and what I got was fair. I want to move on and co-parent our young son. He's been largely unaffected by it. Long story short, I found out that his teacher has been going back and forth with my ex regarding our son. I was not copied. I went straight to the teacher and reminded her that there was no excuse to exclude me on matters regarding my son. She corrected me that the emails were not about my son per se, but classroom matters. So I corrected her back and asked if my son was not in her classroom. She admitted that she was wrong and it wasn't on purpose. It was just that my ex is always emailing her, but that's better and more comfortable than having her do it in person. I asked her what stuff was my ex talking about and she said, your divorce and the drama. I was angry that my ex would discuss personal matters with someone that I had to deal with, so I went to the principal. The principal agreed that my ex shouldn't be discussing stuff like money and trashing me to the teacher. It has zero relevance to our son's education and wastes time. Apparently, the principal told my kid's teacher she's to limit the scope of conversations with my ex and to copy me on every email. The teacher probably omitted some things because the next time I saw her, she said that all she did was try to support my ex and now her classroom is collateral damage. Am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. You didn't make the classroom collateral damage, your ex did. She dragged the teacher into it and caused the problem. Not you. And the teacher did it to themselves by choosing to support the ex instead of limiting it to supporting the child. It's hard to put into words how unprofessional the teacher was. What on earth? Good for you for getting the principal involved. Your phrase collateral damage is right on. I can't believe people sometimes. You were right to put a hard, immediate stop to this. You are the idiot. Something sounds weird here, so your ex emails the teacher asking about your son, the classroom, etc., and you expect the teacher to randomly send the same information to you? Why don't you ask the teacher questions about your son if you care so much? You are the idiot. As a teacher, I hate it when my students' parents bring the fight to school. It's not like that teacher was helping your ex over you. It's not like you were being left out of important discussions or info about your kid. It sounds like your ex reached out to that teacher first. If this is an issue, then take it up with your ex. Just because your ex was dumping your drama on this person does not mean that you get to complicate that person's life and job. I can tell you right now, we don't care about your stupid personal issues. We're there to teach your kid. It's also all your ex's actions, not the teacher, and you went to the principal. Our job is to teach your kid, so stop trying to extend your battles to places they don't belong.